Welcome back to The Art of Violence. Today, what we're going to be talking about is Josh Bruckner versus Salt Papi. The event that just happened this past weekend, where the fight took place on Misfits, which is KSI's boxing promotion, which has actually been doing quite well. I'm pretty impressed with what he's been able to do, and it's been fun to watch. But Salt Papi, who is probably the best YouTube boxer at this point. I mean, I think indubitably, besides Jake Paul, is the best YouTube boxer. Fought a guy who they called the boogeyman of YouTube boxing, which was Josh Bruckner, who's a big 6'1", 6'2", 195-pound guy who's very muscular, who has fought MMA before and has fought twice in boxing now. Both professional style fights where, there's no headgear and, I think 12-ounce gloves, something like that. I believe he fought on the Logan Paul undercard against a guy who no one really knows the name of. And then he fought another like influencer star, I guess you could say. I think he was popular from a dating show. I'm not sure what his name is, but he was a big like 6'6" guy, and Josh handled him pretty well. So a lot of people were like, well, how's this fight's going to go? Salt Papi's obviously really good. He's the only one who really looks like a pro boxer, besides Jake Paul. I would say he actually looks better than Jake Paul in many ways. Like, I would say a lot better in certain ways than Jake Paul does. And how is he going to do against Josh Bruckner? Josh is quite a bit larger, quite a bit bigger. How is this fight's going to go? I believe he even weighed, I don't think they made the same weight. I don't remember for sure, but I believe Josh Bruckner came in quite a bit heavier, and he looked quite a bit heavier the night of the fight. And so a lot of people were questioning how that was going to go, if Salt Papi was going to be able to handle his size, if he was going to be able to handle, the length, the reach, things like that. And well, Salt Papi came in and surprised everyone. He came in there and smoked Josh Bruckner. I mean, he outclassed him pretty much from the bell. He did take some damage. He, kind of got a little bit caught up in the trash talk game, but it was pretty funny. And he got Josh to come in a little bit too far and did what he needed to do. He got him to overextend and got a little bit too close into the range, and he was able to crack him, put him down, and Josh was unable to recover. He cracked him with a beautiful shot. It was one of those car crashes where Josh was coming in, Salt Papi threw a beautiful, I think it was left hand. I think he's a southpaw. I could be mistaken, but either way, it was the backhand, cracked him right on the jaw, sat him down, and he couldn't recover from there. So it was quite beautiful to witness. And Salt Papi, man, his IQ and his fundamentals are very good. I'll say he needs to work on his defense a little bit, but his fundamentals are pretty sound. His reflexes, reactions are very mature and appropriate at a professional level in boxing. And yeah, I think everyone was pretty impressed with how Salt Papi did in that fight. It was very, very, I think, astounding to a lot of people. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens next, who he's going to fight next. I'd like to see him fight a couple more people before Jake Paul, but we'll see how that goes. So it's going to be interesting. One of the things I noticed in the fight was how much more aware of distance and how much more, I'd say, educated of a boxer that Salt Papi was than Josh. Josh kept just like kind of throwing these like power shots from far away. He would throw a couple combinations, but he was a bit slow. He was doing some feints, which were good. He got some reactions out of Salt Papi, but he didn't really know how to follow up on those and utilize his reach really well. He had a little bit of success with going to the body, but he abandoned it. He abandoned it, and he stopped doing it. And he didn't develop a game plan around, keeping him at bay, going to the body, clinching if he got too far in the clinch, employing different tactics to keep Salt Papi at bay and damage him from the outside. He did it every now and then, but he wasn't consistent. He wasn't consistent with anything. He was throwing a lot of stuff with 100% power. He slowed down really fast in the fight. Salt Papi even said multiple times, like, he hits hard, but he's slow. So can Josh Bruckner beat a lot of the other YouTube guys? Yeah, I think so, but I don't think he'll ever beat Salt Papi. I don't think he'll ever beat Jake. Probably wouldn't beat Logan. So, like KSI, that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting because I don't think KSI actually looked that good, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think KSI looked as good as he could have, and I thought KSI would actually look better. So Josh Bruckner versus KSI would actually be an interesting fight, and I think KSI might be interested in that next. It'll be fascinating to see how that plays out. But yeah, Salt Papi did a number on him. I don't think KSI is going to want to fight Salt Papi next. I think that would be a bad move because I think Salt Papi would probably beat up KSI pretty bad. And if he fought Jake Paul right now, it would be interesting. I would probably still lean towards, if Salt Papi can work on his defense a little more, because that was the one thing that was kind of lacking. He kind of just sat there and just kind of stayed here. You can't do that in high-level pro boxing. You have to move and adjust and move around and roll and clinch and push away. You got to be able to do different things. So he's got to work on his defense, but if he can do that and still be composed and still keep improving, I think even if he fought Jake within the next 6 months, I think he'd have a pretty decent shot at winning. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how it goes, but I would say there's certain things he definitely does better than Jake, even at this moment. So we'll see. We'll see where Salt Papi is in a year. We'll see what Jake wants to do. And let me know what you guys think, who's next for Salt Papi. And we're going to be making another video talking about KSI versus FaZe Temper, how that went down, and just kind of the hilarity of the whole situation. So comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about how the whole thing went down and how it played out. And I'll respond. We'll have a conversation about it. So hope you've enjoyed. This is The Art of Violence. Until next time.